Time to talk property, thanks to our partners, GJ Gardner. Changes to the foreign buyers ban announced earlier this week, and we were chatting about that, will allow those holding a golden visa to buy or build one home in New Zealand with a minimum value of $5 million. So, what properties have caught the eyes of wealthy foreigners? Chris Fahri, who's the head of insights at Bayleys, joins me now to talk about that. Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Garth. Thanks for having me in.
Yeah, great to see you. Okay, so this is a particular kind of property and a particular kind of person who's looking for it.
Yep.
What are you kind of hearing as on the wish list?
Yeah, so I guess if you look at these investors that might be coming in, so they're dropping at least 15 million between the actual investments that will get them the visa and then the house. And they're also typically going to be based offshore. So I guess you have to put your rich person offshore hat on. And we think that they're more likely to be looking into some of the unique offerings in New Zealand, like around Queenstown, some of the holiday spots up through Northland, Bay of Islands, Bay of Plenty, rather than probably your traditional suburban house in Auckland. And the reason we think that is that if they were moving here permanently, they'll probably be a bit more concerned about convenience and sort of living in the city. But we think that that's probably not going to necessarily be the case.
Yeah, they're more likely to be building even, do you think?
Yeah, I think if you're spending upwards of $5 million on a house, I think there's a reasonable likelihood that you'll either build new or you'll at least do some pretty heavy customisations to the properties. And we think off the back of that, probably the tradespeople will be pretty good winners from this because there could be quite a bit of investment into housing associated with it.
Yeah. You imagine anywhere near a golf course is probably getting the extra look over at the moment.
100%,
Yeah. So I guess what we've heard in this debate is it's about houses, it's about investment. There's been a bit of backwards and forwards, certainly. A lot of the political opposition around this, certainly at parliamentary level, has been this will do something to the price of housing in New Zealand, or this is putting the interests of people who want to buy houses ahead of people who can't afford it. But I just sort of wonder, if you are talking about more than $5 million house or a build or whatever, what is the evidence that that could have some sort of drag effect on prices more generally?
Yeah, so I guess if you look at the housing market, obviously you've got a bit of a spread from lower to more expensive homes. Median house price in New Zealand at the moment is sitting just under 800,000. So that means that half of the homes are under 800,000. If you go up above 5 million, you're talking less than 0.5% of the market. So you're talking a very, very tiny part of the market. Most of the homes are way down the price spectrum. So as a result, changes to, I guess, demand in that area are unlikely to have a big impact. We think the other aspect that a lot of people aren't thinking about at the moment is there might be some additional buyers come through, but equally there's going to be a lot of vendors that are going to want to take advantage of that. And if we look over the past couple of days, probably for every call that's come through from someone thinking about the buy side, we've had just as many vendors thinking about their sell side.
Right, because there's a market there now. And things have been a little bit flat, things have been a little bit underdone, and so perhaps you might have been thinking, I can hold out for a bit longer. Yeah,
well, particularly if, in that 5 mil plus bracket, you've got more of the older generation, so thinking about maybe downsizing. They might have been holding off for a couple of years just due to the downturn, and now they're thinking, actually, there might be this cool opportunity with some of these offshore buyers come through, should I list now? So, it could be just as much impact from that.
Right, enough tell, let's have some shows, shall we? You've got a place to show us the sort of thing you're talking about in Queenstown?
Yeah, so we've brought a couple of examples. So we've got this property here, this is on Arrowtown, Lake Hayes Road. This one here is asking just over 6 mil, so slightly over 5, but gives you a sense of what you can buy up around that price range.
That view's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful home.
Wow, and I mean, this is your classic kind of, it looks like you can't see the neighbours at all either, so that's, I imagine, a big factor too. You kind of want a wee bit of splendid isolation and not necessarily people necking over the fence.
100%, like when you get into that price range, privacy is quite a big factor.
Yeah, right. Now, we've also got a place that you wanted to show us in Arnie Crescent in Remuera, which is your sort of pretty blue-ribboned address for an Auckland buyer, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. So this property's asking about 5.5 mil at the moment, gives you a sense of what you're buying around that mark. Sort of 4 beds, nice home, beautiful swimming pool, all the bells and whistles. Not necessarily your Barbie dream house on the huge piece of land, but nonetheless like a really beautiful home.
Maybe more if you're a foreign investor who's got a pile of cash and, as they say, wants to maybe be close to where their kids and families are going to connect with other people. Perhaps they're looking at putting down the roots rather than sort of necessarily just jetting in for 3 or 4 weeks in a year.
That's right. Like if you were looking to fully relocate, maybe you'd go into Auckland, you'd go into these sorts of suburbs. I guess we haven't brought examples, but the other one would be maybe renovated villas through Herne Bay, might be sitting just above that 5 mil range as well.
Yeah, wow. Okay, well, keep the calls, keep us posted about the calls that are coming from both sides,
100%.
buyers and sellers. That's Chris Fahri, the head of insights for Bayleys.